What's up, sisters? This is your boy, Beef, and welcome back to the channel for another week of awesome new mods for Baldur's Gate 3. This week we have a wide selection of different mods, including some new weapons and armor, a few cosmetics and clothing options, and a couple of new subclasses. Before we get into it, thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. But without further ado, let's hop right on into the mods. To start, console players recently got another big drop of new mods that were just approved, including the Artificer class by Echo 0000. This mod isn't exactly a direct port of the D&D Artificer class, as most others in Baldur's Gate 3 aren't, but it generally captures the playstyle and spirit of what the Artificer likes to do. Whether you want to become a walking fortress, blast your enemies with eldritch cannons, concoct various potions and grenades, or summon your own magical automaton, the Artificer is an intelligence-based class that can fill several different roles. I have a build guide on my channel that I will have linked above and below for the Battlesmith subclass, which casts Warding Bond on your Steel Defender to apply a ton of damage resistances to it, and then the Artificer uses stacks of Force Conduit and damage negation armor to reduce the amount of damage that actually gets passed on through the Warding Bond. It's a lot of fun and really powerful, super tanky, and does a lot of damage. Next up, we're going to be covering a few cosmetic mods. First, we have Nemera Vampire Pack by Miss Nemera, which adds a bunch of new vampire faces for the character creator and even more customization. These heads are compatible with elves, drow, and half-elves, and you can see here we have a few new options for females, including Carolina. We also have Diana, who looks really nice. We have Harlow. We also have Liliana. And we have Qualm. These are all custom, so they will not be coming to console because they use custom textures, so they physically cannot make it onto console, but they are really great if you're playing on PC to give you some more customization. Let's go ahead and change our character over to a male so that we can see what the male heads look like. We go with body type 2 here. Scroll on down, we have Christian, who looks pretty vampy if you ask me. We have David, who also looks pretty vampy, and we have Gabriel, who looks even more vampy. So this is really cool. You can see they each have bite marks already established, so that is really cool. We come standard with our bite marks, so people will know that we are a vampire. Our next cosmetic mod adds the face of legendary drow ranger Drizzt Do'Urden, giving you the tools to play as the ultimate dual-wielding warrior from D&D lore. Next up, we have the House of Hope Couture by Nick Jima. This mod adds a bunch of new outfits from Raphael's House of Hope. You can wear Raphael's signature outfit, Carilla's robe, even Yrgir's outfit, and his horns, and the Debtor's disguise. You can see here that I am currently wearing the Orthon outfit from Yrgir. It includes the Orthon horns, the Orthon cloak, the Orthon clothing with underwear, because there's another version that didn't have a bra here, so I saw a little bit of nip. We have the Orthon gloves, which includes the Infernal Dagger and Concussive Burst abilities, which is really cool. You also get the same effects as the Hell Dusk gloves. And the Orthon boots, which gives you access to Hellcrawler, no difficult terrain, and they just look really cool. And you can see here, this is what you look like when you wear the outfit of Yrgir. Really cool. You can also add them each as camp clothes if you go ahead and open up the Cambion clothing chest, which comes in the tutorial chest. There's a bunch of different options in here. We have the Fiendish Warlock boots. They have a bunch of different versions. You can do as vanity clothing, or you can wear them as armor, so it's up to you. You can do the same thing with a Raphael's outfit. There's a bunch of different versions of the Orthon armor, whether you want it to be cloakless and hornless, or cloakless, or hornless, or Camp You Cloakless, or Camp You Cloakless and Hornless, or Camp You Hornless. There's a bunch of different options here. We have all the different Debtor's attire. We have the Necklace of Fiendish Ascension, which gives you the Fiendish Blessing, protected by the blood of their Fiendish ancestors. Cambions have a +2 bonus to their armor class. You can see normally in darkness, and you get Fiendish Ascension, which allows you to take on Raphael's Ascended Fiend form. Really powerful. Additionally, it also gives you Diabolic Chains and Igniting Spark, which are two very powerful spells that Raphael uses. If I go ahead and put Raphael's doublet on, you can see now I'm wearing Raphael's outfit. That's fun, and I'm still wearing Yrgir's horns, so that's cool. If we toss on Raphael's boots, now we are fully Raphael. Carilla's outfit, on the other hand, includes a few different goodies. It looks like it's very similar to the Infernal robe, but it includes invisibility and Scorching Ray intuitively. It also has gloves where you can get access to the Infernal Dagger and Misty Step in her boots. We also have the Orthon amulet, which gives you all the abilities of the Orthon and allows you to summon Yrgir if you want to. That way you don't have to dress like him, but you can still have all of the same powers. And we also have the Debtor's Ring, which gives you the effects of the Debtor's Armor, or the Debtor's Attire here, which allows you to do the same thing. If we put one of these on, you can see we have one of the outfits that you wear when you go to the House of Hope, and it gives you a few new abilities. For instance, we get Fiendish Transformation, which allows us to turn into a Gilded Imp, a Gilded Hellboar, or a Gilded Maragon. Let's turn ourselves into a Gilded Maragon for fun. Look at that. That's pretty sick. I'm now a Gilded Maragon. I have Arrow of Roaring Thunder. I have Crossbow Shot. I have dash, shove, jump, and I have access to main hand attack. Really cool. And I can dismiss it right here. Boom. Really cool. This is a really great mod if you are more of the Infernal Persuasion and you just want to have some fun playing with some fiendish abilities. Our next pick is Song and Steel Bard Equipment by Graphic Fade. This modder has been working over the past few weeks to create new sets of class-specific armor and equipment to add in a bunch of variety and synergy to your builds, including rangers, druids, wizards, and monks. And now we have a new pack for bards. If we go ahead and open it here, this mod includes 30 wearable armor pieces, 10 per act. We have 10 for Act 1, 10 for Act 2, and 10 for Act 3. And this is a perfect mod to elevate your bard characters. And as bard is my favorite class, I'm literally so excited for this one. Let's see if we open up the Act 1 gear. We have the Ring of Phantom Ensemble, which gives you Mirror Image. We also have the Serpent's Tongue. We have Muse's Inspiration Cape, which gives you Muse's Embrace, a special new ability. We have the Boots of the Dancer, the Hat of the Siren's Call, which gives you Sonic Blast. We have the Flute of Haunting. If we go ahead and pop into Act 2 here, we see we have the Amulet of the Performer's Resilience. When the spotlight is on you and the pressure is high, you rise to the occasion. While you are charmed or frightened, you gain a +2 bonus to AC. And you have Encore Performance, which allows you to regain hit points when you are below 50% health. We also have Tunic of Spectral Shift, which gives you Blink. And when you use Dash, you become partially incorporeal, gaining resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage until the end of your turn. This would be a really cool armor set for a College of Spirits bard. We also have the Luck Blade, which is really cool. The Luck Blade seems to bend fate itself, offering a second chance when luck falters. Once per turn, when you roll a 1 or a 2 on an attack roll, you can re-roll that die and must use the new result. Additionally, the blade grants you a +2 bonus to all saving throws. This is a really great sword, and only a bard can use this item. We also have the Cape of the Swift Blade, the Gloves of the Maestro. Let's pop into Act 3 and see some of the really powerful things we get. Here we have a legendary helmet called the Visage of Vanishing Laughter. The mask amplifies your magical presence, granting you a +3 bonus to your spell attack rolls and spell save DC. When you take damage, you can vanish from sight, becoming invisible. On your next turn, you can cast Misty Step through this, this will break your invisibility. We also have the Ring of Eternal Crescendo, Charisma +22, and the Eternal Symphony ability, which is really cool. We also have the Amulet of Thunderous Voice, which adds thunder damage equal to your charisma modifier on your weapon attacks. Really powerful and really good for applying reverberation and just doing a really fun thunder kind of music build that I am going to have a lot of fun messing around with. We have the Star Song Blade, which does 1d8 +6 piercing, +1d4 thunder, +1d4 fire, or 1d6 fire, and allows us to add our spellcasting ability modifier to our attack rolls instead of our dex mod, which means that we don't need to take a dip into Warlock in order to be able to get Pact of the Blade. We can just use this weapon. We also have the Cape of the Symphony of Souls, which gives you Hypnotic Pattern and increases your ally's armor class when you wear it. We also have the Boots with the Quick Blade, just a bunch of really cool options in here that are really great for bards, that just really adds a lot of different variability for bard builds and gives you a lot of different options to play around with. Our next equipment mod is similar to the last, but adds in a bunch of gear for mages instead. CL Magic and Might Mage Gear by Copper Leaves adds in over 50 new armor pieces plus camp clothes, specifically crafted for wizards, warlocks, and sorcerers, all 3 primary casters. This modder has also done some other packs for specific classes like barbarian, bard, and paladins. If we look here, we have inside the wizard's chest, we have a bunch of different options, including the wizard's tops. I'm currently wearing one of them, which is called the wizard's bra with skirt. There's another version that does not have a skirt, but I am wearing the one with a skirt because otherwise you would see my hoo-ha here, and we don't want that. We have a bunch of different other options here for clothes and very cool items that have a bunch of different really cool options. Armor classes increased by level 2 at levels 4 and 8 and 12. A bunch of really cool different passives in here that are great for wizards. We also have the same thing for trousers. We have a bunch of different really specific options here, like the Wizard's Leather Bracers, we have the fancy Wizard Boots, the Wizard's All-Seeing Eye Hat. They all have very similar kind of abilities. Oh yeah, like you see, like here, I am wearing the Wizard Sandals as a Vanity Boots, equipped by Beefly, and the Bra with Skirt. If we pop over to the Sorcerer chest, we have some very similar things, but geared towards Sorcerers. We have a couple different extra cloaks and things like that are perfect for a Sorcerer build. In the similar vein, we have the Warlock chest here, which includes some gear specifically for Warlocks that really helps with that. Starting at level 10, cantrips that cost an action cost a bonus action instead. The effect can be used once per short rest. Really cool to have on your gear. We also have 3 new shields that come with it that are perfect for mages and give you arcane charges whenever you are hit by a melee attack. Other things like that, whatever you want to do. And it also comes with the Camp Clothes backpack, which has a bunch of different really cool options in here. There's some repeats from one of the other ones that are specific to wizards, but we have the robe with sleeves. If I go ahead and put that on, really cool. We also have some really cool outfits here, like the strappy shirt and the wizard's leather trousers, which apply to your underwear slot instead. Otherwise, you will not have any pants on, which I just discovered myself off screen. We also have some options like the Weed Mother's robe. I'm still wearing my pants, so you can't see very well. If we pop the Flaming Hot robe on, it's really cool and has a very nice look to it. We have the Sleeves robe, which is similar but doesn't have sleeves. So there's just a bunch of really cool options in here that are great for if you want to customize a wizard, warlock, or a sorcerer. And this is really fun to be able to just make some really cool cosmetic changes to your class. Our next mod is from one of my favorite creators, the Cataclysmic / Winterblight Fire and Frost Sword by Skirby. This mod adds 2 new swords into the game, a powerful flame sword called the Cataclysmic Sword, and the Winterblight Sword, which is obviously a frost-themed sword. Like other weapon mods by this creator, they include a host of new abilities and attacks that unlock as you level up and give you a ton of new passives and tools to help you out on your adventure. You can wield these 2 weapons on their own, or even dual wield them for a true fire and ice swordsman playstyle. As you can see here, the Cataclysmic Sword does a 1d6 or 1d4, depending on whether you are one-handing or two-handing it, and it gains Burning Touch. Creatures hit with this weapon will receive Cataclysmic Hellfire. It's a condition that adds 1d8 fire damage to your enemies after they get hit with a weapon attack. We also have your attacks and spells ignore fire resistance, and some of our new abilities include Fire Blast. Blast a target and push them back 9 meters for 1d8 fire damage. At level 3, you get Hellfire Smite, a 4d6 smite that is just really fun. We get Hellfire Onslaught, which does weapon damage plus 6 slashing and 4d6 fire damage, and it strikes all creatures in a line. We have Cataclysmic Orb, kind of like big ol' fireball that also adds Cataclysmic Hellfire stacks. We have Cataclysmic Flame at level 9, strike all creatures in a line and create a Hellfire surface. And we have Frostfire Embrace. If you are equipping both weapons at the same time, you get a very special ability that is really nice to have. And if we look at the Winterblight Sword, we can see what it has here. This one, creatures hit by this weapon will receive Chilling Decay and have their life essence sucked out to heal the wielder for 1d8 hit points. Really awesome. Your attacks and spells will ignore cold resistance, and you'll get abilities like Frost Grip, which instead of pushing your enemies, allows you to pull them 9 meters towards you. We have Glacial Smite, which is similar to Fire Smite, but glacial, and applies frost armor to yourself. Glacial Onslaught allows you to strike all creatures in a line and apply Frigid. At level 7, you get Winterblight Orb. Hurl a ball of churning ice that damages all nearby creatures and objects and applies Frozen on a failed saving throw. At level 9, we get Winterblight Flame, which is another really cool ability. Strike all creatures in a line, applies Frigid and Winterblight. And Frostfire Embrace, same thing that you get with the Fire Sword, it's just put here. So let's go ahead and put these on our character and see what we can do with them. Oh my lord, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty sick. Look at that. Look at that, Look at that. That's really cool. I really like the look of those, especially when you wear them together. Let's see what some of these abilities can do. If we have Hellfire Onslaught, this one is going to make a big line with some Hellfire on the ground. We have Cataclysmic Orb, which we are going to shoot right here. This building. That's pretty sweet. Let's also do the Frostfire Embrace. Let's do it. What even happened there? I don't really know, but whatever it was, I'm sure it was very powerful. We have Winterblight Orb. Allows us to throw a big ol' orb of ice. Really cool. This is just a really fun mod, and I'm a really big fan of these weapon mods by Scurby because they add in a bunch of new playstyles that you can just kind of supplement onto another existing class so that you can really play around with things and get a very unique playstyle out of any of these classes. Our next mod is called Feat Rebalance Pack by Wool Toke, and this mod makes sweeping changes to the list of feats to rebalance them in different ways. One of the biggest changes to Baldur's Gate 3 from tabletop Dungeons & Dragons is how the feats are implemented, and the general sentiment that I've seen is that some of them, like Tavern Brawler, are so powerful you're almost kind of dumb for not abusing it, or so weak by comparison that there's hardly any point in taking some of them. This mod aims to alleviate that by pulling down some of the absurdly strong feats while bringing up some of the weaker ones. If we go ahead and pull up in here, we can see that Alert changes from a +5 to a +3 to bring it down to the D4 kind of more balancing level of Baldur's Gate 3. Great Weapon Master All-In has an attack roll penalty equal to your proficiency bonus instead of a straight -5. It depends on your proficiency bonus. Heavy Armor Master reduces all damage rather than just non-magical damage. We also have Performer, which gives you performance expertise, Polearm Master, which now works with Tridents, and the bonus attack now includes extra damage like Hunter's Mark. If you also have Sentinel, the Polearm Master opportunity attack will now correctly prevent enemy from moving. Sharpshooter changes to the bow version of Great Weapon Master. Skilled gives you a +1 to any ability. Shield Master Block is now a passive rather than a reaction. Unlocks Shield Blow as a bonus action. And Tavern Brawler changes to replace the existing bonuses with a +1 to unarmed attack rolls and add your proficiency bonus 2 to 4 to the damage. You can make a bonus action unarmed strike if you have an empty offhand, including a versatile weapon without a shield. Bonuses will now apply to Wild Shape in Honor mode and to Slayer form. So that's really cool. It both gets kind of a little bit of a nerf, but also gets applied to Wild Shape in Honor mode and Slayer form, which is a huge improvement that is both really great and also really nerfy, but I like both. Next up, we're going to finish this week's video by looking at 2 new spellcasting subclasses. First up, we have Gravity Sorcery by Acre 2. This mod adds a new gravity-themed subclass to sorcerers that includes a bunch of new custom spells and unique animations to match them. We can look here at some of the animations. We've got this cool blue-looking aura. We have this really big blue ray attack. We have a giant explosion and a slow going on here with a bunch of force damage. And we have this funky starry aura, really cool. If we look down here at some of the cool abilities we get, Gravity Spellcasting, you gain the Singularity Spell. You gain the Singularity Spell as well as the Gravity Spellcasting abilities, Rest and Crush. If we go ahead and look at Rest and Crush here at the lower pages, disarm a creature by increasing the force of gravity on its weapon with a strength save. On save, target still takes half damage. Really cool to be able to disarm your enemies. At level 6, it bumps up to 3 creatures by increasing the force of gravity. And at level 11, you can do the same thing, but on a failed save, target creatures have their strength scores reduced by 2 for 2 turns. That's really powerful. We also have Crush, constrict a group of enemy creatures, making them more susceptible to injury. The affected creatures take 2d4 force damage until the start of your next turn. The affected creatures have their armor class reduced by 1. Really cool. Good utility there. And they get better as you level up, just like the other one does. We get a leap ability, target a creature within 18 meters and triple their jump distance. Really cool. We get Gravity Surge. For the next 5 turns, you can cast Call Meteor and Gravity Wave without expending a spell slot, because we get some really cool abilities like Singularity. We get Gravity Field, Gravity Wave, which allows you to push out a huge wave of gravity. And finally, we have Call Meteor, which allows you to call a meteor down from the sky. Really powerful. And last but certainly not least, we have the Raven Queen Patron for Warlocks by Gladofel P. This mod adds a new subclass for Warlocks based on the Raven Queen from D&D Unearthed Arcana, featuring a special Raven companion and spells like Sanctuary, Feign Death, Ice Storm, and Cone of Cold. This class can also turn itself into a Raven and even includes 2 new Eldritch invocations to match your build. Additionally, there is a submod called Stronger Sentinel Raven submod by the same mod author, and this one just buffs the strength of your Raven summon so that it can do a little bit more power. This is a submod for my Raven Queen Patron for Warlock mod to make the Raven Familiar stronger. It does that by giving it a similar progression like the Ranger's Companion. So that's really cool. On level 3, it gains better stats. On level 5, the stats get better again. At level 8, level 11, boom, boom, boom. Really cool. So it's just a scaling version of the Raven so that you can have a nice, powerful Raven with you. But that pretty much does it for this week's best new mods for Baldur's Gate 3. Which of these mods are you rushing to download right now? The Bard gear is making me want to do another Bard playthrough, even though I've done so many of them. But telling all of the bosses in Act 2 to kill themselves and then they do it is just too much fun to pass up. So we'll have to see what I end up doing. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see y'all in the next video.